When we walk on the road and ask the little boy a normal question, "Hey Tony, why didn't you work well on your study?" What does this little boy probably answer? He may answer, "It's my daddy's fault because he didn't hire me a tutor. And it's also my mommy's fault. He didn't get my bedroom decorated as my classmate Jimmy's. That's why." What do you think of this? And let's look at another little boy. His dad asked him to chop down some useless trees that affected the growing of some useful trees. But unfortunately, he chopped down a very useful tree that was growing very well. Afterwards, when his dad was reviewing his job and looking at the fruits that fallen down from the useful tree, his dad still praised him a lot. "Good boy, you did a very good job." The little boy's face suddenly flushed red and said, "I'm sorry, Dad. I chopped down a very useful tree. It's my fault. Blame me." His dad laughed. "Good boy, I'm more than happy that you can acknowledge your fault and take the responsibility. Even if we lost 100 trees today." Who is this little boy? You got it? George Washington, the first president of the United States. Now we can link this true story to ourselves. How many of you have ever escaped responsibilities that you should have taken? And how many of you have ever said, "It's his fault, it's her fault, it's their fault," pointing to others, "Oh, not my fault"? I can tell you the truth that I have. Just several weeks ago, Sam called me to tell me there are 2 spelling mistakes in the club meeting agenda mail that I have ever sent. Do you know what was my first response? My first response was, "What the hell were Microsoft and Word and Gmail doing?" Because before I send out the mail, I usually use the check spelling feature of Microsoft Word and Gmail.
My department. My fault.
You get it.
Not my fault.
See, sometimes
That's a trick.
usually subconsciously we think that faults are not good things, and we would like to push the responsibilities to others, and find a lot of excuses to avoid the responsibilities. Right? And even the excuses can also provide us a shelter where we can escape the responsibilities. Yeah, we can gain the temporary calmness and comfort. But what have we lost more? We can never improve and learn from the faults unless we can recognize, to acknowledge the faults and take the responsibilities. Moreover, what will others think of you? You are a coward. You cannot take responsibilities. And you are not trustable. Do you want to be this kind of man? And here's another trick. When you are pointing to others, 2 fingers are pointing to others. And 3, another 3 are pointing to herself. Right? Do you like to point others like that? My dear friends, we are not the God. Everyone will make faults. But what is the most important is that how we treat them, how we face them. When we face faults, we should first acknowledge the faults, and we should take the responsibilities. Do not be afraid to say, "It's my fault," by which we can learn the most at the lowest price. Just as Winston Churchill has ever said, the price of greatness is the responsibility. Do you want to be a great man like George Washington? Take your own responsibilities. This was Master.